Labor wins. Sky News declares it. Tom Connell has called it. And this is a major moment for Labor and for Anthony Albanese, the first Prime Minister since 2004 to serve a full term and be re-elected. The first Labor Prime Minister since Bob Hawke to serve a full term and be re-elected. This is a huge moment for him, for your party. How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, obviously you're in elections to win them so that you can deliver on the things that you believe in and that the community wants to see done. There's obviously, Barnaby rightly pointed to the fact that it was going to be difficult for the coalition to win. It would be involved knocking off a first-term government for the first time in a long time. But I don't think we should understate the significance of this win, and it's clear that we will. As you say, long time since we've had a Prime Minister be re-elected. Even longer since a Labor Prime Minister has been re-elected. And if you look back over the last 12, 18 months, most incumbent governments around the world have been tossed out. UK, US, Germany, Queensland, Northern Territory. So to have an incumbent government hold government is a pretty extraordinary achievement.
He's only the third Labor leader to do it after Whitlam and Hawke, 2 election victories. John Curtin never did it, Ben Chifley never did it, Paul Keating never did it.
This is, yeah, as I say, it's his place in history.
And potentially with an increased majority.
Yeah. Which is unusual, Joel, because normally, as Peter Credlin and I were discussing earlier, first-term governments normally take a haircut at their first election. This has flipped that.
Yeah, even Hawke in 1984, having won a big victory in 83, took a big hit in 1984, only 18 months later. So, yeah, it is typical. And this is an outstanding result for Anthony Albanese. There's no doubt about that. I just want to clarify something on Patterson. I'm still very confident about Patterson, but I've seen some more numbers that I'm not going to call that yet. But I think we'll win Patterson. But the other extraordinary thing happening here is that it's very clear now that Labor's going to have a majority, but there's still going to be some surprises out there, and something really weird is happening, and it goes to the diminishing vote of the major parties. So the AEC is suspending the two-party preferred count in a number of seats, certainly in Bean, certainly in Bendigo, and I'm told possibly Farrer, Franklin and Richmond. And what this means is, for those watching at home, the AEC has to make a decision before the night about who will come first and second, and the computer is set. And what's happening in these seats is the wrong person is coming second. And typically it looks like they are these community independents or TILs, whatever they might be. So they've had to suspend the count, the two-party preferred count in those seats. And what that suggests to me is, well, you've got one Liberal Party seat there, and 1, 2, 3, 4 possible Labor seats that could go awry because of the rise of independence. I'm not calling that, but it's a possibility.
No, it's a good point to mention. So when we're talking about this majority, Chris Hillman, for Labor, it might not be as big as some might be expecting at this point because of that anomaly that Joel talks about. But then also the thing that you spoke about earlier, the primary vote question. Labor is now, their primary vote
is what Anthony Albanese had to do. He had to turn around. That's been a trend now that we've seen for the last 3 elections. The Labor Party, they got down to 33% of the primary vote, catastrophically low. He had to start to lift that. But the real catastrophe is what's happened to the Coalition's primary vote, which is now sitting on about 30%. Now, that is horrific. So what we will see tonight is that most likely, and again, things change dramatically. People tell me, wait until all of these pre-poll votes come in. OK, let's see what happens. But the distance is now so vast, they can't make it up. You could see the Liberal Party losing seats from the position that they're in, which leaves them not 1 or 2 elections from government. What you'll see in the coalition is an existential threat. Where does this party go from here? It has lost its heartland seats in Victoria, which were now they've turned teal. They're not coming back, right? It wants to make a play for the outer suburbs of Sydney and Brisbane. Well, they're not picking those up. So where does this party go? And the thing that you can predict after this election is this is a party that essentially will tear itself apart while it tries to work out how it articulates itself to appeal to enough people in Australia to be able to form a government in future. So I think the big story tonight is the Labor Party win. The big question for the opposition is where to from here?